My name is Matin Malek. I'm a senior here at John Brown University, and I study political science and international relations.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, appreciate it.
No, I really appreciate this.
You're from the UK, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about your upbringing, like where you're from.
Okay, so I was born in Manchester, England. My parents are both originally from Iran, so they're both Persian. They moved to the UK separately. They actually met in Manchester. And they moved in 97, 98, respectively. And my father, to escape the regime there, the Islamic regime, and my mother to come and study. And then they met through mutual friends, got married, and then a couple of years later, I came out. So,
So you were born in Manchester?
yeah, I was born and raised in Manchester.
Okay, great.
Yeah, but my first language is Farsi, so I grew up speaking that in the home. Like, I'm like my home life is a lot closer to like Persian culture than it is to like the English culture.
Right. So what were the dynamics like growing up? Like, what kind of neighborhood did you grow up in when you were a kid? Being Persian, were you in a mostly Persian neighborhood, or?
The house I moved to, the school in the area was really bad. It was pretty rough, and there was a lot of like trouble there, and so like they would like we would make the extra like effort to go to like a different like area to like find a better school, but reversely that school was like very white, and like I faced a lot of racism like there.
Okay.
So that was like one of the challenges. I knew no one. I was like one of few like kids of color.
So you'd say you were kind of a minority growing up in the neighborhood you grew up in, going to the schools you went to?
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely. And
So what were some of those challenges like?
that's a lot of that has shaped who I am right now. It was less diverse. It was we were definitely like the minority family, and like all through like my childhood, like I remember just like my parents making sure that we like tried to fit in. We didn't want to like stick out any more than like we needed to. Like we wouldn't speak Farsi too loud in public settings, just because like we didn't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. Like we were always aware of that. Like racism was a thing. Like it wasn't it was something we dealt with, and I was probably one of 5 out of 300, 400 kids in my class of color. Everyone else was white, and there was a lot of stuff that I had to deal with that, and in those years it's really tough to deal with that.
Sure, teenage years. Yeah.
You've not grown into yourself,
right? So were you like picked on, kind of, or just sort of like shunned or looked down upon? Like what was that like?
A lot of name calling,
Okay.
like racial slurs. I didn't really have a good group of friends either. I hadn't really settled in.
Yeah.
And so like I was really lost. I didn't really have much direction. The only thing I really had was basketball. I was outcasted a little bit. Like it was just everyone, like there was this like popular group of people, and like the whole thing in England is being part of that popular group.
Sure.
And like, as kids do, they just want to be like friends with people. They want to fit in, especially me. Like I just wanted to fit in. Sure. And it just felt impossible. Like no matter what I would do, I was just never part of them. Right. I just could never be in that group or just be with them. Like I was always different.
Yeah. And so how did you manage to kind of cope through those times, through those years in high school?
So luckily I was able to like kind of grow up a little bit. Like 13, 14, I started to like, basketball was becoming more of my identity.
So you excelled at basketball.
Yeah, I was really good at basketball. Like everyone knew me and started knowing me in school as the basketball player.
Okay.
And that kind of like separates you from that,
Sure.
It's just, hey, this guy's just a basketball player,
Yeah.
They don't see me as that like brown kid anymore, that Persian
sort
kid.
Sort of an identity change there in a way.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that's really important to the story coming down the line too, is that a lot of my time and energy went into basketball. My dad did that intentionally because my dad knew that, like, he did it with my sister too. She went to public school in the UK and she had very similar problems too, challenges, but basketball was always that thing that kind of separated us and just like gave us a blanket between that.
Gave you a little notoriety.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I started to grow up, and I found my group of friends. I wasn't too focused on, hey, like I want to be popular, I want to be known. As soon as I stopped caring, like I just was like, hey, I've got my friends. Like they they're good. They're nice to me. They're kind. They look after me. You know, we get along, and that's all that really mattered at that point.
And how did the team? How did they embrace you, or did they? Like, what was that like? The team dynamics, you coming in?
So the basketball team.
Yeah.
So my dad was a basketball coach for reference.
Okay.
He was a basketball coach. He's a big basketball guy.
Okay.
I grew up playing soccer, football.
Yeah.
And then when I was about 9 or 10, I went to one of his basketball games because he played in like a men's league.
Okay.
And I went along and I was just shooting on the side hoops. And one of his teammates, his son was my age, and he was like, "Why doesn't Matin come and play with my son? Like, Matin's good. Like, he's got a little bit of height. You know, he can shoot a little bit. I mean, your dad can play. I mean, sure, like you can be able to teach him."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" Like, I play soccer on these days, but these days actually like it worked for me, so it worked out, and I started going, and that's how the journey began really for basketball. I was like 9 or 10 years old, doing community leagues, and eventually after 1 or 2 years of playing, I started to excel in that community league, and I moved to one of the best clubs in the country in the UK. It's called Manchester Magic, and my sister played for them too. I played for them many years growing up.
Okay. Was that just like a city league team kind of
That's
thing?
a national league team. So we would travel across the country to play games, and like that was like the highest level of club basketball in the UK.
Okay. Cool.
And they're really good. They've won many like national championships. And
Okay. And how old were you then?
when I started playing for them, I think around 12, 13. So after a couple of years of playing just locally, I was able to grow out of that a little bit and then just transfer to this team. And this is when I started getting good, kind of along those lines. People knew I played like nationally.
So it's okay. You're in high school. You're playing for this national traveling team.
Yeah.
Playing across the country. And then what's next? What stage of life are you in then?
Yeah, so I've pretty much been based in Manchester up until this point. And then when I was 15, for my last year of high school, year 11, I moved down to Reading and play there at the U16 level, U18, and like elite academy basketball league level too, which is like the highest league of like youth competition in the UK. Right. I think I was 15 when I moved down. So.
And you moved down by yourself?
Yeah.
Just to be part of the academy?
Yeah. So they offered me a place there. I went for a trial. They offered me a place. I was able to go there. They liked me, and so I was accepted to go and like be a student athlete at their school. And it was a much more like professional setup there. Yeah. Whereas like I would commute like 20 minutes driving through the city to get to my club, like in Manchester. Here, like they had like a basketball house for all the student athletes, ranging from like as young as me. I was the youngest when I went there, to like 18, 19-year-olds. So like 15 to 19. Yeah. Now I'm living in a house it's a big house with 10 or 11 other student athletes and 2 coaches. So 13 people, and it's like it was more than just a house, like apartments almost. And so like I was in charge of everything. My parents lived 3 hours away up north, and I'm 15 at this age, like very young, very, tender, very important years. I basically got thrown into the deep end. And it wasn't like my mom gave me a clinic on how to like make all these foods. I was like, had to figure it out. Yeah. So I had to meal prep. I had to get myself to school. It wasn't too far of a commute. It wasn't 20 minutes driving. It was like a 5-10 minute cycle. So I would bike to school, go to school, do a full day of class. Most days practice before class. So there'd be one practice before class, do class, practice after class, and then maybe even another practice after that too. So some days I was doing 3 practices a day, full day of school, coming home, had to feed myself, and so it was a really big transition.
Yeah, it's a good time to grow up. Huh?
Yeah, no, exactly. Like it was definitely difficult. Yeah, it had a lot of challenges, and that year 11 is the most important year of high school. Like that's when you have all your important exams, and that's really make or break for academics too. Yeah, so I played there for a year. It was probably one of my best years of basketball too. It was very challenging, but it was very good. Like all the practice paid off. I became like more nationally recognized. I had a pretty good highlight tape, like game videos, because I was playing at my age, U16, and then playing up as well for the U18, and practicing with older guys all the time, and just in a very like professional environment for
Mhm.
basketball. So I managed to get good results on the court and off the court. Um, Not saying that everything was perfect. I still had a lot of personal growth.
Mhm.
I was just so young,
Mhm.
16 years old at the
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
And so what next from there? I played really well. So my dad was wanting me to go out to America to find high school in America and play out in the States. And so I finished that year of school, year 11 there in Reading. And for the summer, I finished around May like 14th, 15th,
Mhm.
and I was able to fly out to Seattle and go stay with one of my dad's old basketball players.
Mhm.
And so I go and fly out, 16 years old. That summer, I finished my exams. I fly out all alone to Seattle. This is the first time I'm flying alone as well, and it's like the longest possible flight
Yeah.
you could have.
Yeah.
So I go out there and I stay with him for about 2 months. And the whole plan was for me to stay and start doing high school there in the Seattle area,
Mhm.
metro area.
Mhm.
And I had to tryouts with a bunch of schools, and I was able to like a few of the schools wanted me to play for them, the high schools.
Mhm.
And so I was meant to do that, and I went with a travel team. The travel team like sponsored me to go like play with them, like an AAU team. I played with them through the summer as well. Worked out with a bunch of high schools. Was able to just do like the local Seattle runs and kind of get immersed into the basketball culture there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to permanently stay, and I found that out right as it was like high school was starting. So end of
Mhm.
August, beginning of September. It was a
Mhm.
couple weeks into the school starting, and I couldn't get the visa transfer.
Okay.
It was really difficult because I was underage. I needed like a legal guardian. I
Mhm.
needed a whole bunch of like
Mhm.
legal things. I had to like loopholes I had to go through.
Mhm.
So I had to go back to the UK. And at this point, it was a couple weeks into the school starting, into the seasons almost starting. So I was kind of like scrambling to find a place.
Mhm.
But due to like having a really good year the year before, I kind of
Mhm.
had some leverage.
Mhm.
And I was able to go join another elite basketball academy in Bristol, in the
Yeah.
city of Bristol.
Yeah.
So I went out there. I had a friend who was there as well, and
Mhm.
so I went out and studied there for that year and played again. Like, I was 16, 17 at this time. Played elite academy basketball, which is like again the
Mhm.
highest level of basketball in the UK. I played that. At this point, I've grown into myself a little bit more.
Mhm.
Still very much focused on basketball. Um, and then COVID hits. So this is
Mhm.
where everyone, I feel like everyone has their COVID moment. So like,
Mhm.
okay, so I was doing this, and then COVID hit. So this was my March time. The UK starts slowly shutting stuff down, and
Mhm.
school gets shut down. So I get sent back home to Manchester.
So this would have been 2019, 2020?
2020,
2020?
2020, March
Okay.
of 2020.
Okay.
And yeah, season comes to a halt. Like that's like prime time of season,
Mhm.
prime time of school is March time for us. And bang, after a couple of weeks, government shut down and
Mhm.
like go home. So I was like, okay. So I went up to Manchester and everything in the UK was pretty much shut down. I know
Yeah.
here in America it was a little bit different,
Yeah.
but the UK was pretty strict on the
Yeah.
rules. And I ended up staying home from about March through summer, and there was just a lot of uncertainty with COVID. Like
Mhm.
I'm sure, obviously, everyone
Mhm.
experienced it. Like you just didn't know when stuff was going to open back
Yeah.
up, or
Yeah.
what's going to happen, or are we going to live like this forever?
Mhm.
And so, um, we were like analyzing it basketball wise. Like
Mhm.
there was no signs of like the season or the league like reopening, and it was like getting pretty late in the summer at this point. I'd been home for since March for about 4 or 5 months,
Mhm.
not being able to practice like I would. Like no
Right.
courts were open, no
Right.
gyms were open,
Yeah.
so it was just like very like um just basic home workouts and trying to
Mhm.
do as much as I can in the local
Mhm.
park or going on
Mhm.
runs, trying to
Mhm.
stay fit and in
Mhm.
shape and sharp still,
Yeah.
while doing online studies as well
Right.
for my school back in Bristol.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, and it's midsummer, and one of my dad's like coaching friends, who had an academy, who still has an academy in Spain,
Mhm.
calls him, and he's talking to him like they're catching up. And my dad's complaining about the state of basketball right now in the
Yeah.
UK. Like no courts are still open, and it's been
Yeah.
6 months since the shutdown. It's like all August time, late July, August,
Mhm.
and we're like we don't know where he's gonna be next year, what he's gonna do, and he was like, well, why don't you send him out to Spain? Come play here in my academy. The Spanish government have given us a lot of more power and autonomy over our basketball facilities because we're a tight campus. We're starting practices now. And he's like, let me see his game tape, and he analyzes my game tape, my highlights and stuff, and he offers me a spot to go out there. And so I see myself with a month turnaround from like not knowing what I'm gonna do to be like, hey, I'm like moving across the continent to Spain, and not just mainland Spain, to the Canary Islands. So it's like even further away. It's closer to Africa than it is to the rest of Europe. Like it's like an hour away from Morocco. Like it's right off the coast of Morocco. Flying to Morocco, it's very close.
Someplace warmer than the UK.
A lot different. Yes, a lot different. It was definitely a nice change than the grey skies of Manchester. Manchester's known for its rain. So
I've
lot
been to
nicer.
Manchester several times. I
Really?
actually enjoy the city. I do.
Wow. I mean, it's biased, but it's my
to you,
favorite city. It's my favorite city in the UK.
Sure. Yeah.
Next time you're there, you've got to tell me.
Okay.
I'll give you all the spots.
Okay.
I'll give you all the spots.
So you're in the Canary Islands.
Yeah. So I moved out there for, now this would be my senior year of high school. At this point, because I did my junior year in Bristol, senior year now in the Canary Islands at an elite basketball academy. They're European known, and they're known for sending players to America, and that was always my dream. My dream this whole time playing basketball was to come to America and play basketball in the best basketballing nation in the world, obviously. And so that was my aspirations, and this move was another good step towards that. So now I've had the experience of living away from home in the UK. Let's transfer those skills to living away in Europe, somewhere in a different country. And so end of August, beginning of September, I moved out to the Canary Islands. And man, it was a big change. It was nothing like I'd ever experienced up until this point. And I'm about 17, 18 years old now. And so for 10 years of playing basketball, this is just another level. Trainings 4 times a day, morning shooting, in between classes, we'd come and work out, lift weights. After classes, we'd get done and work out again. And at night, we might even have a game or a scrimmage or something. So it's very intensive. And honestly, that year playing in the Canary Islands for this academy probably did the most for my basketball, because it taught me European style of play rather than the English style of play. A European style Spanish. I mean, it's America, and then Spain is top 3 in the world. So really, really unique and very focused on skills, on details. And so learning that style of play, playing at the U18 level, U21, and then men's. So I was, again, playing in multiple different leagues with different ages, and iron sharpens iron. So just getting better every day, working out very, very intensely. Our coach was very, very hard, very strict, no mess around, very almost military style kind of guy. And there's some stories there too of for example, it was my birthday, the 8th of October, and our team, one person on our team was like a couple minutes late to practice. And being late to practice means you're not 10 minutes early. So he's there maybe right as practice is about to start. And our coach complains to the main coach, or the assistant complains to the head coach, hey, these guys are not taking it serious. He cancels practice. Head coach finds out about this, sits us all down, and he's like, yeah, you guys, I know you guys haven't been living good in the dorms. You've not been taking it serious. Bear in mind, we're all taking it very serious. So it's kind of just pounding us down even more, just psychologically. And he's like, give me all your phones, no devices, no nothing. And it was, I think, the day or 2 days before my birthday. And so I had no means of communication. And also the other thing is, we lived in a there was 2 residence houses. There was the kids' residence house and the U18 players' residence house, which was a 10-minute drive. And the Canary Islands is really steep mountains, it's very mountainous. And the driver who normally takes us, the adult who lived there and would take us to practice, in like the minivan, one of the other punishments was he wasn't taking us to practice. So we had to make this like 3 or 4 mile walk to practice for like the whole week. That we had no phones, we had no cellular connection to the outside world. My parents were like confused, like what's going on? Like it was literally like nothing. And I was able to like message them very briefly, like had to go into the bathroom with my friend's iPad to like text them, like log into my Instagram or something. I don't even remember how I did it, but log in and like, oh, Dad, this has happened. I don't have my phone. I think we're going to get it back here in the next few days. It's been like 3 days already. Okay. And they're like, are you okay? I'm like, yes, I'm fine. I will text you as soon as I can.
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, he's fine. They're just getting punished.
Yeah.
So yeah, like a bunch of stories from that. Oh, yeah.
So it's fair to say that basketball was pretty much your life.
Exactly.
It consumed every
Absolutely.
part of your life.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. So let's fast forward a little bit and tell me how you got to JBU.
Okay.
Like what was that process like? How did you even hear about JBU?
So I was out in the UK. I moved back from Spain. I played. I went back kind of full circle to Manchester Magic, and like that was like a gap year for me before I started university and application processes. And I played men's for the club that I'd like I grown up in. I played as a youngster, and so I came back and I played professionally for the men's team. And so it was a really nice full circle moment. And I was like, I was doing some like tying up my studies too, like finishing the year off like with studies and getting like my transcripts in order because I was like preparing for this transition to America. Because that was always the plan growing up to come to America to play basketball at the collegiate level. And so I'm playing men's. I'm able to play pretty well again, like get some good highlights and good tape. And my dad had one of his former players was now an agent, a basketball agent, and he knew a guy in America who's called Brandon Goebel, and he like helps talented like European kids, like African kids, like from all like just internationals, to go to America. And like so he scheduled a call. He was like my dad's old player was like the middleman between me and Brandon, and he connects me out to him. We have a phone call, me and my dad and him. Tell him my story, just tell him everything. Explain how like I want to come to America and play. I just want to be there and like get my foot in the door and work hard and work my way up, whatever's needed. He's like, okay. I send him some highlight tape and video of me playing basketball, like game tape. And honestly, within a week of reaching out to him, calling him, I had 5 or 6 different schools like reach out to me, like through myself, through my social medias, and they're like, "Hey, Matin, like we heard of you from this guy, and we're interested. We want to get to know you more. 6'5" point guard. So it was me talking to a bunch of schools and finishing out the academic year too, playing professionally in Manchester, so my hometown. First time since I was 15 living back home too.
Yeah.
So it was nice, to say the least, after being all over the world for a little bit.
Yeah.
And so it was getting through into the summer, and I think around May time, like as I was doing my final exams too, I committed to the school in Miami, Oklahoma. So northeastern Oklahoma, A&M. It's a junior college out in Oklahoma, northeastern Oklahoma. And when the coach reached out to me, I'm still friends with the coach now. He's a great guy, really, really good man. And he's calling me over the phone. I can really tell he's really wanting me there. He's like, you'll come here, we'll develop you. And the whole point of a junior college is to send players off to 4-year schools and 4-year programs. And I could just tell he really wanted me. Out of all the coaches that I've talked to, he was the most like, hey, Matin, I really want you to come here. Like, just let me know. And he offered me a full ride scholarship to go play there.
Nice.
When I first got in contact, this is another funny story. So the town is spelled Miami, and I was searching the school up. I was like, Dad, I call him from he's upstairs in his room. Dad, I'm going to Miami. Like, I'm gonna go to Florida. And I'm like looking, I was like, what's this after Miami? And like Florida is whatever. And I'm like, this doesn't look like a beach.
Yeah.
It's like a Sonic
Yeah.
drive-in or drive-through, whatever.
Quite
And
different. Yeah.
I was like, okay. I was like, Dad, never mind. I'm going to Oklahoma. And so, yeah. So I fly out. I go to fly from the UK to Tulsa. Get picked up and go start my freshman year out in NEO. And play my first year of collegiate basketball there. And I was at this point 19, 20 years old. And honestly, it was a really good year. It was tough. It was a big cultural change as well, because I just got, again, thrown into the deep end. I didn't know anything about the team, about the style, the competitiveness, anything.
Yeah.
My first, like, apart from when I was 16 and when I went to America, this was my first, like, level, like, experience of the level here. And it was, at junior college level, it was like insanely high. We had like 4 or 5 Division I guys transfer into our school to be able to transfer out again, and go to a better Division I program. And so competition was really, really tough. We were ranked top 20 nationally for most of the year too, out of all the junior colleges in the country. So we're a really good program, and definitely pushed me, and got me used to the American level of playing, of basketball, competitiveness, physical, tough, and yeah, it was definitely a big learning year. Every place I've been has taught me
Sure.
many different things. Yeah, and just improved my skill set in a different area. And being there was a lot learning curve, a lot of learning curves, a lot of stuff to learn. How to like deal with different teammates from different backgrounds, and how to like fit in as an international here in the US, in the colleges, in basketball, dealing with coaches, dealing with all this kind of stuff. And it was tough, but I ended up really loving it. And at the end of that season, I mean, I didn't play too much. I was a freshman. Competition was tough, but I ended up playing more and more as I got, like, as the season went on, just proving myself more and more. Coach has his end of year meetings, and he's talking to me. He's like, Matin, you're not really like a typical like junior college kid. Like, your grades are really good. You're very respectful. You're very coachable. You're, you're a really good kid. And he was like, if I can find you, like, I would love for you to stay here. He's like, the option's always there. But if I can find you, like, a 4-year school now with good academics, good basketball, would you want to just transfer out after 1 year? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, I want to stay. Like, I love the option to stay. I love the option to, if I find somewhere suitable and good.
So it sounded like he had your back.
Yeah,
he was looking out for your best interests.
100%, absolutely. I'm still friends with him and the assistant to this day.
That's great.
Very, very good people. The reason I'm here.
Yeah.
So I'm always thankful to him for that, 100%. So yeah, he reached out to a couple of schools, and I'm just practicing still with the team. And he reaches out to John Brown coach here, and I was able to get connected with him and come down to JBU for a workout. And as this is happening, I had a friend who I was there with, and he was one of my best friends. He was another international, so we had that common, we shared that, similar thing about us being international. He was from Europe too. And he ended up being my best friend at NEO. And so,
had you heard of John Brown University before?
No.
Before then? Okay.
No, this was my first time. I think I knew that one of our players had gone here, but I found that out after, like, I got connected.
Yeah.
So one of our other old players had come here before. Like, this was kind of like there was a link to John Brown.
Yeah, and it's not far from Miami.
No, it's not. It's from Miami, Oklahoma. It's not too far away. So first exposure to JBU in this story. Yeah. So everything leading up until this moment, and finally stepping off in the Bill George Arena, and blown away a little bit, because it is pretty good facilities. Yeah. Very, very lucky and very blessed to have that here on campus. So yeah, we meet up with coach. We have and this is like, I think, even after finals week. So it's like a couple days before I'm scheduled to go home for the summer, like back to the UK for that summer. And same with my buddy too. He's literally flying out probably in 2 days from this workout. So we work out. There's no one on campus because school here is finished too. So it's a private workout. Me, my friend, and then the coach, and then one of the old players too, for like comparison. And we both practice. We practice really well, and he shows us around the campus a little bit, tells us a little bit about John Brown being a Christian university, and when I heard that, I didn't really know what that would mean. I was like, so you guys do the Lord's Prayer before the games, and that's pretty much it, or something like that. I had no clue what a Christian university meant.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I was like, that's fine. I'm familiar with the church. Like my mom's involved in the church. And so I've like had a little bit of exposure, but nothing it's been basketball. Always has been basketball.
Sure.
And that's always taken my time. I couldn't go to church on Sunday. Why a basketball game on Sunday? I'm traveling to this part of the country on Sunday. Or
basketball was your religion. It sounded like it.
Pretty much, yeah, exactly. At that point, it was just so basketball, right. And everything else was kind of being neglected.
Right. So and good first impressions of JBU.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. I loved the place. Like, it looked really good. I read more into it. The academics matched what I wanted. The campus is beautiful. Like, it's not too big. It's not too small. It's everything kind of matched up. And so we both leave. He doesn't say anything to us. He's just like, I'll be in touch. Like, I'm going to reach out to some other, like, just like doing his thing, whatever. And then I go back home. And about 2 weeks after that, like, we've been in touch the whole time. He's asking me different questions and stuff like that. And then 2 weeks, he basically calls me. And he's like, hey, do you have like a second? He's like, yeah, calls me. Was he like, I'd love to have you here, like, on a full ride scholarship. And we'd love to have you part of our program. And so I'm like I've been thinking about this point. I'm like, absolutely. Like, it seemed like a great place. Everything I'm kind of looking for. Still didn't understand what the Christian aspect of it. Like, I really didn't know what that really meant. Fly back out to John Brown after a summer of just working out, working, and just being with my family. Come here and start playing. So slowly understanding what JBU is about, like what JBU really means. And it took a while. It definitely took a while for me to really get a grip of JBU and the community and the culture and just what being a Christian man, what being a Christian looks like. And we're doing preseason work. And I think on the 2nd of October, we're in practice. Everything's going normal and playing scrimmages, live 5-on-5. There's a loose ball. Me and another player go for the ball. And he's a big guy, to say the least. Bigger than me and heavy. And we go for the ball, and he lands on my leg and snaps right. Yeah, like fractured, broken. Yeah. And so, and I knew it straight away because I heard something. Firstly, like, I felt it, I heard it. I've never broken a bone before, and I just knew that the bone was broken. So I kind of get pushed off to the side. The trainers come, and I'm telling them what's happened. I'm like, they're like, it could be something else. It could be a tendon, ligament, whatever.
Yeah.
We're not sure until we get an X-ray. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's the bone. Like, I felt it. I know. So, yeah, X-ray the next day. It's I've fractured the fibula. I think is the skinny bone that goes outside. I don't remember the name too well, but yeah, I fractured it. I'm gonna be out for at least 2 to 3 months while it heals. And this is like beginning of October. We start our season end of October. And on that practice day, actually, the coach brings us all in. Like, I'm like hobbling, like on one foot, like going in. And we find out they were playing Baylor in an exhibition game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's like, it was really tough because I was like, I'm definitely going to miss that. That's like one of our first few games. Yeah. And so process, cast for about a month. Then a walking boot, muscles all gone, learning how to basically walk again. I've lost all the muscle strengthening it up, getting it like to game level.
Mm-hmm.
It was all a process. And
Right.
actually, funny story. Now it's funny. At the time, it wasn't. We go to Florida to play a couple exhibition games in Florida with the team.
Right.
I'm still at this point in a boot, and
Okay.
I'm getting better. I'm out the cast. I can walk on the boot. Like I'm fine. The bone's healing. And on our last day, we go to Universal, and it's rained the night before,
Mm-hmm.
and we've just got dropped off at the entrance. We're going down the escalator to go down to the actual theme park,
Mm-hmm.
and no kidding, my first step into the theme park, on the escalator,
Mm-hmm.
my foot goes and I slip the exact same way like I broke this leg,
Yeah.
and I had to hold myself from falling down the escalator,
Mm-hmm.
and same feeling, same burning sensation, same pain, same feeling that I had as I broke it
Wow.
first time, and I was like, I retweaked it. Like I just
Oh, wow.
know. I get to the bottom of the escalator, I'm like, guys, I think I broke my leg, and they're all like stop messing around. Like I'm like I'm going like weak, like I'm like
Yeah.
it's like the adrenaline or whatever. Like you
Yeah.
get like start getting a little bit like nauseous, and
Yeah.
so I just
Yeah.
get on the ground. I'm like in a lot of pain,
Mm-hmm.
and the guys are like, oh no, he's being serious. They come around, and basically I ended up there's not much I could do. I was out
Yeah.
of state. I didn't know really, like couldn't call an ambulance or whatever. Like they tell our coach, and he's like, yeah, like trying to like look after me and stuff, and figure what to do. I get wheeled around the rest of the day on a wheelchair in the park. So I didn't enjoy the park.
Yeah.
I didn't get to go on a single ride.
So did you refracture it?
I had it, so it was Thanksgiving was the week after I did
Okay.
that, and my appointment was for mid Thanksgiving, so I had to stay in the dorms alone, like for Thanksgiving too. And so I went and met with my doctor, and he was like, "Yeah, you basically retweaked it a little bit, so it's gonna set you. It wasn't as bad as it could have been, but it's like you're just gonna have to go forward
Stay
with
off,
this,
yeah.
yeah." And it basically pushed me back a month. And so by the time I was back on the court, being able to play 100% was really around March, February. And by that time, our season's like almost done.
Almost done, yeah.
So there was no point in me coming back and playing like for a couple games, like
Right.
maintain eligibility, redshirt, injury redshirt. So I couldn't play.
Yeah.
And really tough, because it's the first time in my life, as you said, as you realize from my story, like basketball has been a big part of my life this whole point, and I have never had a serious injury up until this point. This is the first time that I've had to deal with a serious injury and overcoming it, and the psychological, mental challenges, physical challenges. Very, very, very difficult. Very difficult to me.
How did you get through that?
Yeah, honestly, I think my friends really, like, a lot of it went into like just distracting myself, stepping away from it, like avoiding it. And it wasn't like at this point, like I thought like maybe my relationship with the Lord would strengthen like through this. But
So had you come to know the Lord at this point? Like you said you weren't sure about the whole Christian thing. So had you begun a relationship with the Lord at this point, or were you still trying to figure it out?
so I would like on paper I would have said like yeah, like I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
But what that really meant, it was like what that looked like was a lot different to what it was spoken.
Right.
You know, so I wasn't going to church consistently. I wasn't taking time to read scripture. I was doing the bare minimum. I was still very much focused on like, hey, basketball, let's get better, let's get back on the court, let's put all the energy into that. And I was starting to little bit like, obviously as it went on, I had a couple really good influential teammates, and that really helped me. They just, because they're my same age, they had a way of like explaining stuff and explaining scripture. So I was like, I had like right at the end of the year, one of them was graduating, so this couldn't continue, but we met a couple times, just like he could read through scripture and the Bible with me. So I was starting a little bit, but it was still way, way far away from like where it needed to be.
Right.
And I was still, I wasn't living out my life correctly.
Right.
I wasn't going about stuff the right way. I wasn't thinking about stuff the right way. I had a lot of stuff that I had to personally deal with, and And so it was a tough time. And over that summer, I wasn't, or that Christmas, I wasn't able to go home, or the summer, because so we get to the end of the year. I hadn't played the whole year. We basically we have our end of year meetings, and I have my end of year meeting with the coach, and basically I lose my scholarship. I lose my basketball scholarship. And with like sparing the details, but like we weren't on the same page. Like with my injury and how much I developed through it and come from it. It was really tough. It was a surprise. It was a big surprise to me. I wasn't expecting it because I was just like, hey, I'm injured. Like, that's not my fault, really. Like, I can, like, I'm just doing what I can to get better.
Right.
And I eventually, like, this around March time, I call my parents. And I'm like, hey, this is like what I'm dealing with right now. And they're really surprised. Like, they're heartbroken. It's really tough on them because they know, and I know that I couldn't be here without the scholarship.
Right.
No chance. Like,
so financially, it didn't look like it was possible for
no,
you
not at all.
to
It's really just my mom working basically 2 jobs, 7 days a week, pretty much, to like support me and my sister and my dad and pay the bills. So like that's how the finances look, and it's still do, and so it's really tough. And they had like expected me to be on the scholarship. The whole 4 years I'm here in the States, they hadn't prepared anything. Like very, very hard. So we're at a point like what happens? I'm in my sophomore year. I've done 2 years of school here. I've got 2 more years left. And nothing transfers back to the UK, so I'd have to start from zero in the UK all over again. So a lot, like very, very hard on me. Very, very painful moments, not knowing what I'm going to do with basketball. I haven't played the whole year, so I don't have any tape to be able to transfer anywhere. I've made. And so I didn't really want to transfer either because I had a good base.
Yeah, you wanted to stay here.
I wanted to stay here. Yeah, 100%. Like that was my first choice. Okay. I end up staying in the summer, and I worked the whole summer that summer after my sophomore year just to be able to, like, I couldn't afford to fly home. And stay and work and make as much money as I can and try and figure out an off-campus housing option, because that was one of my first steps. Like, I made a checklist of how I was able to stay at JBU. Like, I would need to do this to be able to like financially afford, like, from myself supporting myself to be here. Right. And so finances was weighing on me. Basketball was weighing on me. I wasn't where I wanted to be with the Lord. But ultimately, I managed to find a place off campus with, I think I mentioned to you with the John and Judy McCullough. Yeah. And I find them right on the last week before school. I've been looking for summer the whole summer. Yeah. And I haven't found anything. And I'm thinking I'm flying home to the UK in a week to go home. Like this is it. This is my journey finished. Like, here in America, this is it. Yeah. But no, they like, you can come live with us, and we want you to be our son. Like, and ever since then, they've treated me like I am their son, basically. Like, I'm their kid. They haven't treated me any different. Just been absolute lights in my life.
A little unexpected miracle there.
Exactly. And this is kind of where things really start. Yeah. Like, ramping up, basically, is for the first time in 12 years of my life, I'm without basketball. So I'm not playing. Yeah. And that is a big, big shift in like identity and who I am and what my purpose is and what I'm living for, you know, and all these questions come up, and I'm like, at first I was trying to avoid this, but then I face it. I face it, I reveal it, and I'm like, what do I need to do? Like, why has all this happened? Why am I here? Why am I living with the McCulloughs? Why, like, did basketball get taken away? Why did I get injured? All these questions. Yeah.
Difficult. So you were looking for answers on a deeper level at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think first semester I was still living for fun. Like, I wasn't living for anything serious. I was like staying on top of my academics. That's the only thing I had at this point. I was staying on top of them. Yeah. That was something I was good at. But I wasn't staying on top of myself. Right. And I ultimately realized like this is not a fruitful path.
Mm.
I'm like messing around. I'm not taking stuff serious. I'm not taking my relationship serious. I'm not taking my friendship serious. Me and my dad used to call every day.
Mm.
At this point, we were calling once a month, if that.
Mm.
So that was really, really difficult. I'd lost him.
Yeah.
I'd lost him.
Mm.
I'd lost basketball. And I ended up losing my relationship too.
Wow.
And so I was really like, I got to a point in the second semester. This is all a slow transition.
Sure.
People leaving, people coming into my life, and me just realizing that I really like I have nothing. Like, and the Lord did this to make me realize that He is the only thing I have at the end of the day. Basketball isn't gonna take me all the like it's temporary.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
relationships, friendships,
Mm-hmm.
everything is temporary.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, the only thing I have is Him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, this is like, I'm starting to understand it. I'm starting to get it. Like, I'm starting to, okay, no, I feel this. Like, I'm not mad. I see why you've done this. Like, I see why this has happened.
Mm-hmm.
You've stripped me from everything. Like, I have nothing left. Something I used to put my all into, I have nothing. I have no longer. My dad, that was really painful. Like, not being able to like have that same relationship as we've always shared.
Yeah.
Not being able to call every day because I was ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I'd
Like you
done
had let
something
them
wrong.
down or
Yeah, I've
something?
let them down. I was ashamed to call him. I was ashamed to talk to him, to face him.
Mm-hmm.
And because I know how much time and effort he's put into me, and I just felt like I'd let him down.
Right.
I have this like realization after this one point, something really bad happens. Almost happened to me,
Mm-hmm.
and happened to a friend.
Okay.
And it made me realize that, hey, like if I continue like down this path, I'm either gonna go back to the UK, or I'm gonna like end up dying. Like something really bad could happen to me. Like this is
Pretty serious.
serious, very, very serious.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, Matin, you need to wake up. Like, this is not gonna lead you anywhere. So I start stripping away. I start rebuilding, repiecing myself because I'd fallen apart, and now I'm like deconstruct to reconstruct. I'm reconstructing myself, and I'm putting my focuses back into my studies. My studies were falling. This was like also I was like, no, Matin, or your grades have always stayed good.
Yeah.
Let me pick that up first.
Yeah.
Pick my grades up. It's like, okay, how am I gonna manage my friendships? Like, these friendships aren't leading me to good places. I'm gonna strip back, stand back a bit from them. I ended up meeting someone who also really helped me too. I realized I want like a good relationship, a good healthy relationship.
Sure.
And I was like, if I want to have a good relationship, I have to like, how can I be the person that someone wants to be with if I'm not even wanting to be with myself?
Sure.
I had to first figure that out. And so slowly, I started to cut out bad habits and to put that time into other things. I think at this point I had started going to church. I started going to church. I was struggling to find a good church that I wanted to go to. That was another issue, but like that's where I started to redirect as well during that mid-March sort of time where I was like, hey, I'm going the wrong path. I started to like, hey, let me go to church. Me and the McCullers are talking, and they're like, do you want to come to church with us tomorrow? Because we normally go really early for Sunday school, but because it's the summer, there's no Sunday school. We'll be going at like 10:45. I'm like, that's perfect. I get to sleep a little bit and go to church with you guys. So I was like, absolutely. Long story short, I've been going to that church since that very first weekend of the summer.
Wow. Yeah.
Like the McCullers and the other people on campus really, really spoke by just being themselves. You know, I felt it was so true, so genuine, so authentic. They were being themselves. And that in itself was a huge inspiration. Right. I lead a growth group now on campus. Nice. Really not so I can pour into them, but for people to pour in, like for it to go both ways. Sure. And I got recommended to do this. I felt like I was at a point in my faith and in my relationship with the Lord to be able to lead a growth group. I can be in those situations and just a good follower of Christ ultimately. is what I wanted, is what I want still. Yeah, it's not always going to be perfect. Everyone's got their own story. Everyone's got their own path.
Yeah.
It happens. It looks different for everyone.
Sure.
But this is how it happened to me. My goal was always basketball, 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 basketball. I was on the phone to my dad the other day, and I said, I'm so glad I went to. I said this. I said, I'm so glad I went to a private Christian university. I'm so glad I went to John Brown, because if I was in the UK, the universities are all public. I'd be going out. My friends are all going out every day, every night. That's the culture there. That's how it is.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm not like that. I'm so glad I don't do that. I'm so glad that I'm here. And he said, the biggest thing that happened to you was you getting baptized, was you connecting with the Lord, was you touching him, was you coming into contact with him. And I was like, that's the first time he said that. And this is like 2 months after my baptism.
Wow.
And it kind of it sank in. Like, if my dad is saying that to me, like that really was powerful coming from him. And he was like, there's a reason you're here. Like, there's a reason a British Iranian boy from Manchester, England, is studying in Siloam Springs, Arkansas right now at John Brown University. Like, that doesn't just happen.
Right. Yeah.
That really just doesn't happen. No cases of that happening, very one-to-one. And I was like, and he was like, there's a reason. That's designed, that's happened because of God wanting you to come close to him, of him wanting a relationship with you. And I was like, exactly. Like, I 100% believe that.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool that he can see that.
And we don't speak about God too much. We don't speak about he has some like religious trauma from Islam, from the Islamic government. And so we don't really speak about, it's always been basketball. And so for him to say that was just even more powerful to me, because he's the biggest figure in my life, and for him to biggest person in my life, and for him to say that was really, like, it made me cry.
That's amazing.
And so I was like, I feel very blessed to be here, and this community has done so much for me, and I'm just so happy that I get to be able to call myself, hopefully, a John Brown University alumni and graduate. So, and just to continue. A lot of people have done a lot of things for me here. And one of them, I'm not going to say who it was, but one of them said, hey, I'm doing this for you. 10 years down the line, when you can, you do it for someone else. I was like, oh, that's really powerful. That's really special. And I was like, absolutely. Absolutely. We don't live for ourselves. And anyway, we live for him and for others. We live to serve and to give back. And I ultimately believe that with all of my DNA, with all my root and all my body, and I believe it.